Welcome back to the woods at Lone Pine Tarot, or welcome for the first time if you're just finding me. Today we're again not just picking a card for your reading, but choosing a path that calls you towards your near future. 3 such paths wend in different directions from the crossroads you're standing at, each revealing something different about what is coming next, plus some important guidance for you to help make your steps towards your fate steadfast and sturdy. Take a look at your 3 options. Over here on the left for path 1, we have the 4 of Sticks, one that leads you through the spring woods at night to a warm place of rest by a crackling campfire. Here in the middle for path 2, we have the Hermit, one that follows the shores of a summertime lake, your way lit by the northern lights, calling you somewhere greater. And over here on the right, for path 3, we have the 9 of Stones, one winding through a golden autumnal forest at day, the trail lined with bounty, ready for harvest after a patient period of growth. Pause here if you need a moment to choose your path, but when you are ready, your timestamp is waiting in the description. I'll see you there. Hello there, path number 1, my path through the spring woods at night to a crackling campfire. As you recall, of course, you were drawn to the 4 of Sticks to choose your path today, but before we interpret anything, let's draw some more of your cards to see a more full picture. So calling on Spirit for your highest best good, can you tell us more about path 1's near future here? What do you want them to know about this path forward? Okay, quite prominent cards are coming forward, so I'm actually going to draw 2 from this half. And then let us see what the other half of the deck has in store for you. Okay, actually, this one was the very first prominent one, so we will take that. But quite a few wanted to come out for you today, path 1. Let's reveal. So first tea leaf is the Kite with vacation. So perhaps a rest of some sort is in your near future. Taking a break from something, which is very fitting with a campfire reading, of course, or like what your path was themed with, because what is being by a campfire but taking a break? Then we have Haystack. Karma, you will reap what you have sown. So we have a bit of a karmic cycle aspect to your reading today, at least in terms of everything that you put effort into perhaps will be paid back to you in some way in the near future. And then your third tea leaf for today is Vulture. Depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. So that could represent your current energy, path 1. Maybe recently you have been depressed, maybe you've been anxious, perhaps you've been fearing, like, especially with the part of the card that says worry that someone is against you. It's like vulture circling. Maybe you've been worrying about being laid off at work, like that sort of feeling of vulture circling, or just general misfortune perhaps you have been fearing. But because of your other cards, both the Haystack and the Kite so far, they're more lighthearted. They're more positive types of predictions with, you know, of course, reaping what you've sown if you worked hard at things. And on top of that, vacation is always a positive thing. So especially in relation to being worried versus vacation, I almost wonder if the vacation of sorts in your near future, I mean, it could be a literal one, but at the same time, I think the vacation might be a mental vacation, something coming forward that will help calm and ease and balm your worries about whatever this vulture thing has been about. Okay, so with that being said, though, of course, let's keep looking with other cards. Let's see if, too, any synchronicities come out. Okay, that one almost flipped over like 4 of them, but here's the most prominent one now. We do have opportunity with the moon, crescent moon specifically, behind the pines. I wonder, you know, I bet you what balms your worry in the near future is an opportunity of some sort. Some opportunity coming forward for you. Maybe part of your worry has been so far that you wouldn't get an opportunity, or that you feared none would ever come along. And then from the Woodland Warden's Oracle, we have the Chipmunk and Laurel with success. So path 1/pile 1. What I will tell you right now, if there's anything you walk away from this reading with, how to best summarize it. A lot of what you're worried about right now, especially when it comes to opportunities you feel like you have missed or you feel like won't come your way, or especially when it comes to success, which here's another thing. I didn't mention this because I said, well, we'll interpret this later. The Four of Sticks, or as it's more traditionally known as the Four of Wands in tarot, with your pile leader, usually it means either happiness in the home or stability with our ambitions, or it can also mean a celebration. So connecting that to the success of the chipmunk and laurel, I think there's something coming that you're going to be able to celebrate. Maybe it is that opportunity and you do so well that it's almost like a victory of sorts. And so that makes me wonder, when we draw your main tarot spread, put a pin in this right now. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but if I am correct, I wonder if you might get the Six of Wands as one of your tarot cards, because that is the energy, if you're familiar with that card, that is resounding throughout this entire reading so far. Yes, there's a little bit of that worry because of the Vulture card, but everything else is overwhelmingly positive in your near future. And I think a lot of it, this victory, this success, is based off of your hard work. Just like Haystack says, it's like reaping what you have sown. So if you've been putting your nose to the grindstone lately, pile 1/path 1, if you have been working so hard, I almost wonder too if the Eight of Pentacles might come up in your tarot spread, would not be shocked, then this is basically Spirit saying in the near future you're going to be justly rewarded for what you have put into this reading, or not reading, sorry, for what you put into your work, okay? So, wonderful. And that too, laurel, the reason why that pops up with your chipmunk and laurel is because very similarly to many times when the Six of Wands is depicted, it has a laurel crown in that card. So, because I think it was Greek mythology, if I'm not mistaken, typically victors of things were given laurel crowns. So, just know, I think a victory like that is in your near future here. But of course, we will see with your tarot cards too. I'm going to try to also tune in and see intuitively if there's anything I can pick up about this opportunity, as well as what maybe you've been worried about. I'm getting a sense that a lot of you, it's been different worries, because this is a general reading, of course, but for some reason I'm hearing a lot of you are worrying about getting the axe. So I think I said earlier something about being worried about maybe being like let go at work. So I wonder if some of you are worrying that you're going to get the axe in some way, or you're not going to get like a contract, or you're not going to get an agreement of some sort, or you're not going to get a job if you're currently searching. And so it's like this reading is basically balming your worries and saying, well, no, you're going to have victory with that thing that you're worried about here in the near future. Okay. And then the first tarot card that kind of just popped out of nowhere, we have the Four of Swords reversed as the first. And so we have 4 once again repeated, and 4 in numerology is often about stability. So that's another really key prominent theme of your near future here. Pile 1/path 1 is stability. Now, you did get this reversed. However, a reversed Four of Swords is not a bad thing, like sometimes reversed cards can be. Usually the Four of Swords represents a time when things are going to become more active. So especially if recently you feel like things have been kind of sleepy, there's not been a lot of motion, especially for those of you who have been feeling like, like you're trying to get a job, or you're wondering like when something's going to drop at work that might turn into a bunch of layoffs or something. It's like something finally becoming active, something finally coming to the forefront and not being so sleepy and not so quiet anymore, okay? It's like literally because of the depiction of that card with the bench, it's like things finally getting up off of the bench and now we're active again, okay? And then your second card today is the Three of Swords, also fantastic to get reversed, or, well, I mean, Four of Swords neutral, or excuse me, Four of Swords reversed is neutral. This is actually very positive to get reversed, because the Three of Swords reversed often represents a time when we're overcoming what has been a pain for us. So lots of good things coming, pile 1/path 1. You're having pain being overcome now too. All right. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so that can be a little bit of a sign, too, that you might still sort of struggle with some hardships here in the near future, or it could just be representing the energy of you working through these hardships, because the Five of Pentacles is often about having like a financial pinch, or feeling like we don't have enough money for something. But I think you've already been kind of having that energy leading up to this point, pile 1 / path 1, because of like the vulture worries that we talked about. And so, especially too with the 5 of Pentacles being your heart of the matter card, I see that as kind of like the theme of your near future, the theme of the whole reading, in which case I would see that as like this whole next chapter of yours is surrounding around overcoming these hardships, okay? But that can represent that you still have some to work through here in the near future, which makes total sense, because obviously in life, most of the time when we've been going through hardships, it's not like an instant quick fix. Sometimes we have to kind of work through things slowly, but that doesn't mean, path 1 / pile 1, that the success is not coming. It's just maybe not quite as fast. It's not like an instant fix, right? But as I said, most things in life aren't instant fixes. So slow, steady progress here towards success and this opportunity. I do see that coming for you. And especially with the 5 of Pentacles having the 3 of Swords reversed right next to it, that's a really good sign too, that it kind of tempers the edge of that 5 of Pentacles into more of a theme of, instead of having hardship more, it's about, okay, we're reducing the pain of hardship here in the near future. Okay, so keep that in mind. We also have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, okay. Once again, can technically be a negative card, so let me just make sure with the final card before I read everything for you. Okay, then we have the Ace of Wands, yes. So, you're still working through some of this cycle of karma here, and you're still working through turning that Wheel of Fortune right side up and, you know, overcoming the hardship of the 5 of Pentacles. So there are still going to be some bumps in the road here in the near future. Okay, I want to be an honest tarot reader, because when I do see 5 of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune reversed, that can technically mean that we're not out of the woods quite yet, excuse the forest pun. But there's a lot of positivity here with you before that point, overcoming the pain, things becoming more active, and then afterwards with the Ace of Wands, that can mean something is lit again, something is sparked to life again. It's like that very similar energy to the 4 of Swords reversed at the beginning about something becoming active and waking up. So it's almost like, as I said, not an immediate fix to whatever has been going on. It's a slow growing one. It's like planting a seed in the ground, and sometimes it takes a few weeks, sometimes it takes a month or two in order for that seed to really start going, after nurturing it, after giving it fertilizer and water and sunlight and whatnot. But then finally it breaks above the ground, and that's that energy of the Ace of Wands here at the very end is the outcome. Okay, now I will pull a clarifier on that Wheel of Fortune reversed, because especially, you know, as your tarot reader today, I'm kind of curious as to what that's pointing towards, so we'll see what comes out. Spirit, what do you mean by the Wheel of Fortune reversed? And then we also have this one is quite prominent, so I will take it. Thank you. We have, for the first card that came out, the Explorer of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles in most decks. Okay, so this is why I was saying, hold on. This Wheel of Fortune reversed, and especially the 5 of Pentacles, might also be about you just kind of working through those hardships. And that's exactly what the Knight of Pentacles is all about, because he is someone who takes action towards goals regarding finances and career. And it's not fast. He's not a quick moving knight. He's actually the slowest knight in tarot. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't get to his goal. In fact, sometimes going through things slowly and steadily creates greater stability in the end than if we just have a solution that just rushes through everything. Because one of his main pieces of advice, pile / path 1, is slow and steady wins the race. That is his mantra. And that is kind of the mantra of you in this near future progressing through these issues and trying to get them fixed and, you know, finally getting to those opportunities and those successes that we talked about. And then the second card here is the 5 of Wands, which can mean some of this Wheel of Fortune reversed energy is about competition. So maybe some of the issue is not so much you not like having like extra hardship, like I said. It's just you kind of plodding through it, trying to fix it, getting there. But part of the issue is competition along the way, which makes total sense for specifically if you are like looking for a job right now. Competition is always a big part of finding a job, because you have other applicants that you're kind of sort of competing against indirectly, right? You know, or competing against with them, at least in the minds of whoever is hiring, of course. So that's just something to look out for. But, in the end, it does turn into the Ace of Wands, and you have so many prominent examples of stability coming forward with all the fours that came out, Four of Swords, Four of Wands that you were drawn to as your pile leader. And, the vacation is about, like, finally being able to take a rest, reaping what you have sown. Okay, which is interesting because that's karma, right? It brings up, or it's brought up kind of twice, because not only does Haystack mention karma, but the Wheel of Fortune can also be a card of karma. So it's like cycles, yes, right now and in the near future, you're still kind of working through the downturn of a karmic cycle, or through the downturn of fortune. However, after that, you have that Ace of Wands, and it's like this new beginning again. So a lot of you, I'm seeing that would be probably like, a new job is one example. An Ace of Wands is a great card in terms of new energy or new jobs, okay, especially ones that we're actually passionate about, ones that we actually enjoy, because that is a card of fire in tarot, and fire in tarot is often about, what are we passionate about? What makes us feel alive? Okay. And then I do also want to ask some final questions about advice for this, especially as you're still working through these hardships, because yes, there's still work to be done. So as I promised in the very beginning, part of this reading will be not only showing you the path ahead, but advice on making sure that your steps are more steady with it. So that's the advice part. Okay. And then let's see, we didn't get the, I said put a pin in it earlier. I wouldn't be shocked if you got the Six of Wands, or if you got the, what was the other one? It's kind of failing my memory right now, but I know for sure that the Six of Wands is one of them. So we didn't get the Six of Wands yet, but perhaps it will come out in your advice cards. So spirit advice for pile/path 1 on this near future, especially working through those hardships. Any advice for them on this path? We have Justice reversed. Okay. I already know where this is going. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Wonderful. And then last but not least, we have, the Ten of Cups. Very beautiful. Okay, so actually very positive. Pile/path 1. Your advice for today. As you work through these hardships, which you will, you just got to be steady, and you got to work hard at it, which I know you will. I already know you've done your due diligence, so just keep doing that, right? But you do have some advice. Number 1, with the Justice card reversed. Oftentimes, as an advice card, Justice reversed is about needing to make sure that you are treated fairly. Okay? It's making sure that things are done the right way, especially in what is, sometimes legal things come into it. So it's very possible that maybe some of you are in the legal field, or maybe you've been considering a job related to the legal field, in which case that might be advice to, I guess reversed, Justice reversed in that case would mean maybe look elsewhere outside of legal, because it is reversed. But in general, just make sure to advocate for yourself. Make sure to stand up for yourself, okay? If you, say you are looking for a job and you're interviewing and you feel like, you weren't adequately responded to in some of the feedback after the interview process, okay? Don't be afraid to reach out. I mean, nicely, and you know how to word all that, I'm sure, path/pile 1. You know how to word those emails, but at the same time, don't be afraid to reach out and be like, hey, wait a minute, where's my feedback? Where's my fair shake here, at least in terms of communication, just as one example. But for those of you not looking for a job right now, your hardships have been other things, same thing. Just make sure to advocate for yourself in any case. And then number 2, we have the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is about teamwork. Just like these birch trees are sharing their root system, they provide each other stability, and therefore you are being guided towards making sure that where possible, lean on other people. Don't be afraid to reach out to other people and say, hey, can you help me with this? Or, hey, do you have any other ideas on what direction I can take? And don't be afraid to help other people too, because maybe helping other people can lead to this opportunity that perhaps is coming, related to, as I said, some of you might be literally a job offer, okay? Sometimes even just doing work like that, for some reason I'm hearing something about volunteer work. Maybe volunteering might lead you to an opportunity. Either way, helping other people is a good idea here in the near future, but also asking them for help, okay? And then the Ten of Cups is also just a little bit of a nudge, of a reminder that because it represents emotional satisfaction, when you are walking this path in the near future, no matter what opportunities come up, always look at them through the lens of, does this bring me joy? Does this bring me emotional satisfaction? And if so, that is just like, justice, just like working with other people. That is the third aspect of your guiding North Star of advice, just to make sure, does this bring me emotional satisfaction? It can also mean, too, for those of you that do have a romantic partner, because it is technically a marriage card, you don't have to be married necessarily, but, your significant other, you know what I mean? If you have one, it could also mean that they might play a role in you finding this opportunity as well. So maybe it's through their job that they find a position opens up for you if, say you are looking for a job right now. Or in general, they could have really good advice on these hardships you've been going through if they haven't already offered that advice already, okay? And then, actually, one last thing for you, Pile/Path 1. I want to ask more about the opportunity coming your way. Okay, so you don't miss it. Spirit, what's the opportunity? Can you give us a little hint? Just to cap off the reading for them. Alright, we already have the one card, and that is the Hanged One, which is the Hanged Man in most decks. And that card is often about... sometimes it can mean martyrdom, being kind of away from a group of people, but also it can mean different perspectives and sacrifice sometimes, too. So I wonder, especially for those of you, like I was saying earlier, if you've been looking for, a job as an example in, the legal area or, the legal industry, and I said, well, Justice Reversed might mean that some of you might be kind of pushed towards, away from that, I guess. That could be one way that the Hanged Man represents itself as this opportunity is you might not really expect where it's coming from, and you might need to be open to, a new perspective to accept this opportunity. But let me grab just one more card to get more details. And then we have, the Devil. And the Devil is about, speaking of legal things, it can mean the jail cell card in terms of it represents things that hold us back, things that tie us down, things that have been preventing us from our greatest good, I guess. And that in combination with the Hangman, especially as an opportunity, well, that would be, let me think about that for a moment, Pile/Path 1. It's an opportunity coming about in the way you perceive what holds you back, and or the way that you perceive what is stifling and what is not. I know that's a very odd way to describe that, but based on those two cards, because typically, the Devil would be negative, right, is the way I described it, but we're asking what the opportunity is. And combined with the Hangman, it's a different perspective shift on the way you see, imprisonment or stifling, like I said, or the way you see being held back in some way. It's something along those lines, okay? I apologize, it's a bit vague, but that's what Spirit wanted to... They're telling me just two cards, and they're just describe it that way to them, and it'll click eventually. Okay, so there might be some things that I'm not able to tell you necessarily, but that is what they're saying right now, okay? But mostly overall, progress. We have that success. We have that opportunity coming your way. We have, that feeling of rest and stability with, as I said, your pile leader, your Four of Wands. That was all about having something to celebrate, having something stable in the home. So a lot of this near future is you processing these hardships and overcoming these pains and finding what makes you satisfied, what gets you excited in terms of probably career and ambition is the main thing I'm seeing for a lot of you. But also learning to stand up for yourself. We have that too, of course, with Justice Reversed. And just remember, I know at the time it might be difficult as you go through these hardships that you've already been working through them, I think, Pile/Path 1. You already kind of know what I'm talking about. I'm sure most of you are yeah, I already recognize what that is because you probably have already been going through it. But at the same time, your steadfastness and your perseverance will be rewarded with this. So just keep going. I know it's difficult, but success is on the horizon for you, okay? And then make sure to look out for that opportunity when it comes to, which, once again, I'm sorry it was kind of vague, but Spirit was no, describe it that way. So I think for most of you that will probably click in a way that I, as the tarot reader, don't quite understand yet, but beautiful. So overcoming your hardships is your near future Pile/Path 1. that was your reading for today on your near future, and I hope it was helpful. I hope you liked it, number one, and also that it resonated with you. And if so, please like and comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Every little bit helps the channel so much, and thank you so much too if you choose to do any one of those three things. And as we say in our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day or your night, and I hope to see you again in the woods sometime soon. Bye, Pile One. Hello there, path number 2, my lakeshore side path, wandering and following the northern lights. Welcome to your near future reading for today. Let us first put the Hermit up here at the top, and we will begin by drawing your oracle cards. So, calling on Spirit for your highest best good. Please tell us more about path 2's near future. Okay, quite a few want to come out, so I'm drawn especially to these two. And there is your third tea leaf today. So, revealing, we have the gong with an exciting event. And number 2, we have archway. New opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. So very, very good fortune so far for you, path 2. Not only an exciting event coming along, but it looks like new pathways too. Then your third is the whale with great worry over nothing. So that's also technically a very positive thing for you, path 2, because I wonder if recently you have been worrying about something a lot. Maybe it has been quite at the forefront of your mind and it's been bothering you. It's been haunting you at night. I almost wonder, and put a pin in it, see if it comes out later. You might get the 9 of Swords as one of your tarot cards today. Maybe not, but sometimes I say these things and then they come out and I'm like, oh, look at that. So 9 of Swords energy is kind of what I'm seeing with that. However, it's the 9 of Swords energy that turns out to just have been much ado about nothing. Of course, to quote Shakespeare, right? So, wonderful. We have pretty good things so far. Like I said, let's keep going with your oracle cards, pile 2 / path 2. Nothing negative so far. And I wonder if some of you do tend to be loners. I'm not saying that in a negative connotation way, because you are drawn to the Hermit card, which, relatable. We have illumination as your sacred destiny. So speaking of the lake, now the lake has come up again now, not just in your Hermit card, but in illumination. And illumination, my friends, often represents a time when we are, well, revealing things and we are finally understanding things. When things are finally made clear. Once again, put a pin in it. I wonder if you might get the sun in your tarot spread today, because the sun in tarot often represents truth. So one of your themes is truth then. Things being made clear. Which is very fitting for the Hermit too, because not only does the Hermit represent a time when we might kind of go in within ourselves, we've been kind of that loner energy, or that lone sage, wise mentor energy. Because, yes, it does represent that, but when we are in that quiet, when we are within that shell and that cocoon, that's often where we do get truth and wisdom. So that's what the Hermit also represents. And then with the Woodland Wardens today, you have the raccoon and the sycamore with curiosity. So I bet you that does tie a lot into that illumination theme, because what does guide us to light and truth but curiosity? Curiosity is merely the pathway that we take towards finding the truth. So you're very encouraged in this near future. We're already kind of getting some advice here, which I was kind of leaning more into doing the predictions first, but things bleed together, right? You are being nudged towards making sure that you let curiosity be one of your guiding north stars here in the near future. Do not be afraid when you get inklings, intuitions, ideas that seemingly come from nowhere here. I'm being told by Spirit to follow those things, to make sure that you heed them, because it's Spirit trying to lead you somewhere that will bring you the truth that you're looking for. Now, I wonder what kind of truth maybe you've been looking for recently here. path/pile 2. I think we're going to have to draw quite a lot of clarifiers, but first let us draw your main tarot spread. We will see, of course, more in detail about the things coming here for you soon. But yeah, lots of positivity. I see it as quite a prosperous time so far. A lot of your worries turning out to be nothing. Excuse me. Card number 1, we have the 8 of Swords. So, not quite the 9 of Swords that I said, although we might still get that card for you too, but the 8 of Swords reversed tends to represent a time where we have been mentally trapped in some way, and we finally release ourselves from that mental trap, which is kind of similar to the Great Worry Over Nothing. It's not quite that anxiety message of the 9 of Swords like I was predicting might come out, but at the same time, Path 2, it's similar in that I think what you're worried about, you're going to be freed from here pretty soon, in terms of at least you'll realize, oh, I didn't have to worry about that thing. So that's the very first prominent energy coming forward because of the 8 of Swords reversed. Let's keep going. Then we have more 8s. Look at all these 8s. Feel free to look into the numerology of 8 because you have it quite prominently here. And even, well, the Hermit is number 9. I guess it's not another 8, but... So 8 of Cups reversed is, could be a piece of advice. It could mean that here in the near future, Path 2, that maybe a lot of what has been bothering you, maybe this is what the Great Worry was, has been something you've been emotionally holding on to. And the 8 of Cups reversed is a little bit of a nudge of advice, or perhaps also prediction that part of this near future is an opportunity for you to emotionally leave things in the past that no longer serve you. And or that's a big part of maybe this truth seeking and this curiosity seeking that you'll be going through, is really finding the truth of how to move on emotionally from what has been bothering you. And same thing too, maybe that's why the 8 of Swords reversed came out right before it, was basically it's not just the emotional freeing but the mental freeing of some sort. Okay, needing to work through that, and it looks like I think you'll probably be pretty successful with that based on your other cards. Then we have another really good thing, Path 2. Very good positive things today. We have the 9 of Pentacles as your Heart of the Matter. And the Heart of the Matter card I like to read as the major theme of the reading. And in your case, it would be the theme of your near future here. And the 9 of Pentacles is all about all the hard work that you have put into something turns out in the end to come to fruition and give you the fruits of your labor based on what you put in. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily in a work or career sense, which was what I would typically see with the Pentacles cards in tarot, because they're the earth element, right? Because you haven't gotten a lot of career cards so far, but it could mean too, like, career success. But on top of that, I think it's more you reaping the fruits of your labor here in the near future based on all the hard work you'll be doing, releasing yourself from these anxieties, realizing you didn't have anything to worry about. And on top of that, rewards of your efforts of trying to leave things emotionally in the past with that 8 of Cups energy that no longer serve you. Okay. Also, too, if you follow that curiosity, I think that 9 of Pentacles is a bit of a theme of you'll be rewarded for following it, like I was saying earlier. So keep that in mind. Then we have the 9 of Wands, the card of perseverance, of holding steadfast through your challenges. Even when the war gets hard, you know there's another battle to fight and you keep fighting it. That's what that card means, okay? So it's also a prominent theme here of being determined. Could also be just a hint of advice as well. Be determined and be perseverant here in the near future. Path/pile 2, okay? You'll be rewarded for that as well. And then we have the card of, this came out for pile 1/path 1 today too. Maybe a communal theme for everybody collectively. We have the Hanged One / the Hanged Man, as it's known more traditionally, with the perspective of standing on the moon and looking at the earth, which is precisely what this card means. It's looking at things with different perspectives, looking at things in different ways. This whole near future for you is turning the way you view things on their complete heads, okay? Looking at them from new ways, understanding things in new ways, and I think that's majorly too what the illumination is all about, is not new truths in the way that they are brand new revelations to you, but new truths in the way that you look at something from a different perspective and you see it in a completely different way. I think most of it is going to be probably related to relationships in the past, because you do have the Eight of Cups, and cups and water and tarot are often about relationships and our connections to other people, but also it can be understanding of your own heart. Hence, because water also represents the heart in tarot, our emotions, our feelings, also your own mind. Also, different perspectives here in the near future on what does it mean to gain the fruits of your labor, and different perspectives on what does it mean to be determined and perseverant with your goals. Okay, so this might be drawing on that hermit energy again. It might be a little bit of an energy of going within, a lot of internal work here in the near future, but I don't see that as like, for some reason the word grudging is coming forward. It's not exactly what I want to use, though. But maybe that means something to you. Maybe some of you watched The Grudge recently, I don't know. Or you're about to, I don't know. For some reason The Grudge is coming up, I don't know why that is. But yes, that hermit energy is, despite it going within yourself, it's not tedious. That's the word I want to use, tedious work. It's enlightening work. So yes, maybe there won't be as many social things going on here in the near future. It's going to be kind of a condensed, kind of internal focus thing. But at the same time, look where it leads you to. Okay? Teaches you a lot about your own perseverance. And you gain a lot of wisdom. That's another really prominent theme here in the near future for you. Not just because of, the Hermit, which is a wisdom card, but also because of illumination. Now, to cap off your reading today, you don't really have too much advice. You have a lot about, just make sure to work on letting things go emotionally, as we all do at all different phases of our lives. It's a continual, constant thing. It's never really a one and done, Things come up and we continually process and, whatnot. So yes, work on that, and then, mentally freeing ourselves from things that no longer serve us, and, reducing your anxiety, although I think, external events are coming forward that will naturally reduce that anxiety. It won't be so much internal work here because of the whale. It talks about great worry over nothing. And yeah, just making sure that you are determined and perseverant and being open-minded to new perspectives. That's also part of the hangman energy connected with your raccoon and sycamore with the curiosity, okay? But yes, to cap off the reading, I do want to draw some clarifiers on, number one, the exciting event, and number two, what are the new opportunities and possibilities and paths coming your way? So first off, Spirit, what's the exciting event for pile/path 2 in the near future? What's this exciting event? We have, there's that Eight of Pentacles I talked about. We have the card of being hard at work, or it could be related to your work that you have been doing very diligently in the recent past. Maybe that's why perseverance especially came up as a theme with your Nine of Wands. So something to do probably with your work. And we have Judgment. Okay, that is often a card of moving on to the next level. Moving further up to a higher world, so to speak. I want to say for a lot of you, that looks like a promotion to me. For those of you that are currently employed, those of you currently looking for a job, you're like in the job search realm, that looks to me like finally getting a job that's a level up from your last one. So your perseverance will be rewarded in that way. So the exciting event is, yes, either a promotion or getting a job that is effectively a promotion, I think, for a lot of you. Beautiful. All right, that's probably also part of what the opportunities and possibilities and pathways are, but we will also ask about those. So Spirit, what are the new opportunities coming their way on top of that? This is a beautiful reading today, path 2, because look at all these great things. I haven't had anything really negative to say so far, other than keep working on emotional things with the Eight of Cups, but we have the Ten of Wands reversed, which is lightening our burdens, so an opportunity to lighten your burden in some way. And then the second card is the Five of Wands reversed, which is lightening your burdens when it comes to reducing conflict and competition. So I think a lot of you, this is actually related to that job or that promotion, because naturally when competition is reduced and we have a burden lightened regarding competition, especially regarding work, usually that means we have stood out in some way, and therefore there comes the possibility of that promotion or that hiring because the competition was reduced okay? Because, like I said, it's like outshining other people is what I'm trying to say. It can also mean, too, that some opportunity is coming in general and new possibilities regarding releasing burdens in general. Maybe not just related to this promotion or job, but other things that have been weighing you down, maybe related to that great worry over nothing you've been going through. And then same thing too with the Five of Wands reversed. It can also mean, maybe recently you've been having some struggles with people that have been really competitive with you. It may be related to that promotion thing I was talking about, or job. Or even if it's not related to your career, it could be people being competitive or butting heads over disagreements, like not harsh fights. That's not so much Five of Swords energy. Five of Wands energy is more about like, oh, well, ego is getting in the way. We just kind of want it our way or the highway, but it's not like actual sharp fighting. It's more just kind of people just swinging ego around, okay? If you've been having that recently too, the new opportunities and possibilities / pathways are related to the reduction of that, is contestuous even a word? Maybe it is. I'm not sure. Way down in the comments below. Contestuous, I don't know. Reducing that hostile energy. There you go. That's probably a better word to use. Wonderful. So reducing your burdens. It's just, I guess to summarize in general, path / pile 2. Nothing really negative here in the near future, other than maybe you're worrying over something and you still will for a short bit, and then you realize, oh, okay, well, that really was nothing I had to worry about, which is a good thing technically in the end. And then we have, maybe especially towards the beginning of the near future, working through the mental trap that you maybe kind of been stuck in, and then also working through things that emotionally, Spirit's kind of encouraging you to move on from that you haven't yet. But as soon as you have that period of internal reflection and solitude because of the hermit energy that you were drawn to as your pile leader, I think it's just, I don't know, I'm seeing it intuitively as a key that opens this door to a brand new world, speaking of the Judgment card, right? And I almost kind of see it as like just, and more so than the cliche, but I see it as like you closing one chapter and opening a complete new one. But like I said, beyond the cliche of that, it's not just closing one chapter and opening a new one. It's you literally closing the chapter on an old genre of your life from, like, I don't know, maybe it's been a horror movie so far. Speaking of maybe The Grudge, right? Maybe it's been a horror movie so far towards, okay, now we're going to go into a fantasy, right? And not dark fantasy like, I don't know, Game of Thrones. A lighter fantasy or something, or you know what I mean? Whatever genre you want to use as an example. I could go on and on and on, but yeah, just a whole genre change. A lot of downturns turning into upturns. Gorgeous. Love that for you, pile number 2 / path 2. Looks like your choice of the Northern Lights path was a very wise one today. So, great. Very happy to report that to you. So, that was your reading for today. Short and sweet. Good job. You're going places. Hope that reading was helpful to you. I hope you liked it. I hope it resonated with your situation, and if so, please like and comment and subscribe if you have not done so already, and thank you so much if you choose to do any one of those 3 things, if not more. And as we say in our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day or your night, and I hope to see you again in the woods someday soon. Bye, Pile 2. Hello there, my wanderer of path number 3, the autumnal forest path lined with bounty and ready for you to harvest after perhaps a very patient period of waiting for growth. This is your near future reading for today. First, let's put your leader near the pine cone, and we'll draw your oracle cards to start. Calling on Spirit for your highest, best good. Tell us more about path / pile 3's future, in the near future specifically. Okay, lots of tea leaves want to come forward. Okay, that, my lord. We're going to have lots of oracle cards for you today. Not a bad thing. And I'm actually drawn to this one. The desk might get a hair cramped, but that's okay. Alright, your surplus of tea leaves today, path 3. We have the rat, someone working against you behind your back. We have target, a goal-oriented person, perhaps it is that rat person. Then we have the lobster with financial pinch. On the other side, we have the ant with work, achievement, success. Then we have the flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. And oh my lord, we actually have 7 cards today. Once again, I apologize for the squish. Cobweb, protected from negative forces beyond your control. And last but not least, in a positive manner, we have basket with recognition or reward for your merit. So apparently, path/pile 3, there's a lot going on in your near future here. You know, Spirit is saying there's a lot that's going to occur. Now, there are some negatives and there are some positives. We did already see a little bit with financial pinch and then the rat and, of course, you know, the flute. And actually, I'm going to kind of rearrange those because I want to keep the messages together on each side. So these are the more, I guess, slightly negative ones here. And then we'll put the neutral one at the top. So, putting that all together, that's a lot to put together, but we'll do it. I think, in the near future, there is someone, and you might already recognize who they are, who maybe has been working against you or working behind your back with the rat, but I think, once again, intuitively, I'm sensing you already kind of maybe know who this is, so it's not really a shock. It's not a behind your back in the way of, like, oh, that was a complete surprise. It's like, oh, yeah, it's probably that person, is what I'm feeling for you, path 3. And I think that's where this flute comes in, too, is that it talks about disappointment in a friend or lover. And so they might be closer to you than just an acquaintance. Perhaps why you have this familiarity with them, you already kind of know maybe that this is coming, as I said. And the target to me, my first intuitive sense when that came out was that was related to this person. So that might be a marker for as to who they are. If you're not already recognizing them, is that it's someone who's very goal-oriented. They're very, I wonder, it could be someone at work, maybe someone you at least initially considered a friend or close person at work, but now it's kind of this relationship got a bit strained because they're so goal-oriented that they, you know, like, I don't know, I feel like maybe they kind of walk the ladder, they kind of climb over people, and maybe you're starting to get that sense already. And so, once again, for those of you especially that are not really blindsided by this, you're like, yeah, I kind of know where this is coming. And because of financial pinch, that's why especially I think it might be related to your job, because, you know, as we know, finances are related to career, and on top of that, your Knight of Pentacles or stones that you were drawn to for your pile leader is a card related to Earth, which is the career element in tarot because of it being pentacles, right? So we do have that coming in the near future. I believe your tarot cards will probably have a lot of advice on kind of managing and navigating around that person and making sure that they have the least negative impact on your near future. But we do have very positive things, though. We have literally a card of work with the ant, but it also means achievement and success. I don't think this person's going to succeed with what they're doing because of that card, and also because of Cobweb. It says protection or protected from negative forces beyond your control. I wonder if someone else is protecting you in some way, or whatever it is that they might try to do. Because I know initially some of you were kind of like, uh-oh, that's kind of negative. I'm not sure I want to hear about that. But just be reassured, I'm hearing from Spirit, because of Cobweb and the ant card, you're going to be protected from whatever this person is going to do or try to do, or maybe they're already doing, like I said, if you're recognizing who this is. And on top of that, basket is about recognition and reward for merit. So I wonder if even for some of you, I'm feeling it might blow back or backfire in this person's face, especially if maybe there's like sabotage at work involved, where they try to make themselves look good and then it turns on their head and it makes you look like the good person because of this card with recognition and rewards for merit. Very possibly that some of you, this is related to maybe them trying to take credit for your work, and that's what backfires, and hence why you get the recognition and the merit and they don't, which you rightfully should in that case, of course. But that is at least what I'm intuitively picking up on. So just know, I think you're going to weather through it just fine. It's just that Spirit wants to give you a bit of a heads up that this rat person, this flute person, you know, being kind of negative, maybe someone who disappoints you, is going to be at least one part of your near future here that is going to work out. But we'll see with the other cards from the Sacred Destiny what your other messages are. We have thriving, another very, very good sign. It's not a negative one. We have you thriving despite the odds, despite whatever this person tries to do, which is very also much so related to the Nine of Pentacles, because the Nine of Pentacles is about thriving after a period of hard work. So your hard work will pay off here in the near future. You will be thriving. Not just surviving, but thriving. And then from the Woodland Wardens today, we have the quail and the gooseberry with anticipation. Once again, I think that's why you probably already know who this is, and you already probably know where this is coming from, because anticipation means to expect something. We're expecting something. We already know it's coming. And, or perhaps you watching this reading, it means you're going to anticipate it. So therefore, through the nature of knowing it's coming, you'll be able to avoid the worst case scenario. Because that's what I was talking about in the intro when I was like, this reading is also trying to help you make sure your path here in the near future is like steadfast and your steps are steady. It's a lot of advice on when negative things do come up, how to navigate around them. So then we'll draw your main tarot spread. Spirit, what else do you want them to know about this near future? We have, first up, the Three of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so that, once again, apologies for it being a bit repetitive, but it's also good to see these synchronicities because it's just confirming what I've been seeing so far. The Three of Pentacles reversed is often a period of time where someone's not working with us very well. It's a card of anti-teamwork with it being reversed, so maybe they work with you on a team at your job, and once again, Pentacles having comes up makes me think of, yes, this is related to your career in some way, but especially being the first card, it's energy that you probably already see. Just like the anticipation card talked about here with the quail and the gooseberry, you already know it's coming, I think. So it's not really, so far, path/pile 3, I'm not seeing anything you're not already expecting in terms of the negative things, but I am seeing things you might not expect in terms of the good things. So success and the merit, but then also someone protecting you or something protecting you from this negative force. Okay. Then we have the Guardian or the Queen of Swords reversed. That might represent this person to you, path/pile 3. A Queen of Swords reversed is oftentimes, tends to be feminine energy because she's a queen. And someone who is likely an air sign or has a lot of air placements in their chart, astrologically speaking. And additionally, even if it's not necessarily astrologically aligned, it can mean someone who is cold, someone who is ruthless. It's just like that target energy I was talking about with being a goal-oriented person, which in and of itself, being goal-oriented isn't bad. But as I was saying before, I feel like this person might be kind of a career ladder climber in the fact that they just kind of stomp over everybody on the way up the ladder rungs. And that's a very Queen of Swords reversed energy here, in tandem with that goal-oriented person card. So I think that's probably related to them. So for most of you, that's who this person is negative air sign, probably feminine energy, and or that cold and ruthless person. Maybe also cold in their communication. Could also mean that they are smart, but in a way that they use it for negative things. Because the Queen of Swords is smart, but reversed, she's not using it for the right reasons. So let's keep going. Then we have the World. Okay, but that's a very good sign to get after that Queen of Swords energy reversed, because the World means a cycle is finally coming to an end. So I almost wonder if a lot of you have been dealing with this person for a very long time. You've been wanting this cycle to come to an end. You're like, oh my God, when is this energy going to be removed from my life? When is this person going to stop bothering me or stop causing problems at work or whatever situation it might be for you? And the World is a very good sign in that case. It means finally the chapter is closing. It's literally the end of the major arcana in tarot, meaning it's like, okay, this cycle is over. Now we're going to open to a new chapter. So I think part of this near future for you is not just kind of dealing with the last dregs of issues with this particular person, this Queen of Swords reversed person, but also finally removing the end of their influence from your life, okay? Because I wonder too if maybe that's why you got the Nine of Pentacles. You were drawn to that as your pile leader / your path today, was because it's about reaping the fruits of your labor after a time of very hard work. Maybe you've been working to remove this person from your life or this energy, in which case Just like, it being a path of bounty after a long period of growth, finally you're going to reap the fruits of your labor. That cycle comes to an end with the world as well. And that is your heart of the matter today too, path/pile 3, because the world as a heart of the matter card is a major theme of this near future for you, as everything kind of coming to tying loose ends, old chapters finally closing, new chapters finally opening, and just like with work, achievement, and success, it's like probably a new chapter in your job or your career too. Especially as this person is at your job, getting rid of that influence is probably very good in terms of finally opening new, better energy. Okay. Especially when it comes to your job. And then we have the Page of Pentacles reversed. That can be a piece of advice here. So we do have a little bit of advice. Although pages can represent people as well, there might also be some influence here with someone who is a younger earth sign. And a Page of Pentacles reversed as a person outside of that description tends to be someone who, like, they're given opportunities, but they kind of squander them, or they don't really come off as, like, exploratory or curious when it comes to, like, their job or trying to find new ways of making money. That's kind of how I see a Page of Pentacles reversed, but in general, I think it might also be an advice card for you in terms of encouraging you to look for more opportunities here in this near future to help make this all the more smoother for you, okay? But then we'll talk about that more in a second after we draw your last card, which is the High Priestess. And she is also an advice card, both reversed and upright. But being upright, it means you're already on the right path. You're already doing what you're supposed to in terms of her advice. And her advice is often about your intuition. Path number 3. So, advice number 1 with the Page of Pentacles reversed. You might have, maybe because of this person getting in your way until their influence is obviously removed here with that World card, and maybe because of other things going on in your life, you have perhaps an inclination in the near future here to not look for financial or career opportunities, or maybe just not noticing them right away. There's something coming along, probably related to that ant with success and achievement, like I was saying, where if you pay close enough attention, you may see an opportunity with your job or finances that you otherwise would have missed. I will actually draw a clarifier on that for you. Let's do that right now, because if I were sitting in your seat right now, I'd be like, well, how do I know not to miss it? What is it about? So let's ask. Spirit, what's the opportunity about that you don't want them to miss with that Page of Pentacles? Or it could be more than one, too. Okay, the card would come out. I wanted to stick there for a second. We actually have 2. With the 10 of Wands regarding a burden, and the Chariot with driving forward, reining in the chaos, balance between extremes. Okay, so it's an opportunity they want you to keep an eye out for regarding what has so far been a burden to you regarding your ability to drive forward with whatever your goals are in life right now. Okay, because the Chariot is about, especially upright, finally taking the reins of something of what has been chaotic before and finally being able to push forward and be like, okay, I got this chaos out of the way. Now I can make progress on my goals. So that's what that means. It's an opportunity regarding a burden recently that you've had to that progress. So keep a close eye in that area of your life. And that is what Spirit is saying will help you identify where the opportunity is coming from. So just be extra scrutinizing about that area of your life here in the near future. And then, speaking of being extra scrutinizing, we have the High Priestess here on the far right as your outcome. And the High Priestess is very similar in making sure that you pay attention to things, although, like I said earlier initially, her being upright means that you already have been kind of doing this, and it's just an encouragement to keep doing so. So High Priestess means follow your intuition, path/pile 3. Please follow your gut here in the near future, especially when you start to anticipate things. Sometimes we get gut feelings seemingly out of nowhere, and we kind of dismiss them as like, well, I don't know, maybe I'm just delulu. Maybe I'm just, saying things that aren't really there, or maybe I'm really just not really getting it, and that just was random. Well, oftentimes when we do get those gut feelings or those inklings, it's a sign from Spirit to say, hey, pay attention to this. So not just with opportunities with finances and career like the Page of Pentacles, but in general, that's an overarching theme of your near future here, is to follow your intuition and make sure that you do. But I do see you already doing that because she is upright. So just keep doing that. Keep doing what you're doing in terms of following your intuition here. And I think that might also lead into this cobweb of being protected from negative forces beyond your control. It's through the power of your intuition is what I'm hearing from Spirit right now. That will protect you and that will guide you. Okay, and then on top of that, I'm being drawn to, I don't often use this interpretation of the High Priestess, but she does technically also represent secrets and mystery. So I almost wonder if there's a secret that will be unveiled here in the near future for you too. I will draw just one more card of clarity on that to ask, where is the secret coming from, or what is it related to? So Spirit, what's the mystery or secret? What's it related to, at least, if you can't tell me the full picture with the sun? Well, once again, truth coming out. But it's also a secret or a mystery regarding happiness, or what brings you joy. And the Two of Cups reversed, related to relationships that so far have been rocky or lacking harmony. That's what the Two of Cups reversed represents, okay? So you're going to also have a secret revealed to you. Maybe you've been wondering about something related to a relationship recently, and you're kind of like, well, I don't know, I'm not sure what the answer is with that, or that's been kind of mysterious. That can also mean that you're being led to the answer to that mystery, truth regarding a relationship that has been disharmonious so far, having disunity, which actually might be related to this rat person we already talked about. Maybe, you know, you kind of had an inkling that they weren't always in your best corner, or always had your back, and that might mean the revelation of, yes, there actually is disharmony here in this relationship, but it could also be related to a different relationship in your life path/pile 3, so just keep an eye out for that too. But I don't get a bad feeling off of it. I just think it's clarity in a way that will serve you in terms of making sure that you do surround yourself with people that are supportive of you and that are in harmony and unity with you, that currently are not. Hence why the Two of Cups is reversed. So I do see a lot of success for you. We had the ant and, of course, the basket with merit, reward, success. We do have very positive things coming for you. But I guess just to summarize, despite some of the negatives with that person, and I guess it's really the only negative is that person, but the positive side is that, well, they're leaving your life. That World card is about ending their influence and ending that. So wonderful. Overall, a very positive reading. Just kind of tying some loose ends there, closing that chapter on what had been a struggle so far up until this point, and then getting you to that point of thriving, like your Sacred Destiny talks about. Okay? So keep an eye out for those opportunities. Follow those mysteries. And don't be afraid to sever relationships in your life, especially regarding work, for most of you, that no longer serve you. Okay? So that was your near future reading for today, my wonderful path/pile 3. I hope it helped you, it resonated, you liked it, etc. And if so, please like and comment and subscribe if you have not done so yet. And thank you so much if you choose to do any one of those 3 things, as every little bit does help the channel immensely. And I thank you for your time and your attention and your, well, social interaction as well, your social engagement, etc. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day or your night, and I hope to see you again in the woods someday soon. Bye, Pile 3.